Hello, world changers. It's time to rest. Let's get cozy as we read tonight's comfort bedtime story. Tonight's story is Balaam and the donkey who could see angels. Long, long ago, in a land where the sun painted the desert hills golden every morning, there lived a man named Balaam. Now Balaam thought he was quite important. He wore a fancy turban, carried a staff with carved patterns, and had a habit of talking to himself as he walked.
Oh, yes. Quite the important figure I am. Yes, indeed.
Everyone knows you are the wisest man from miles around. Kings call on you when they need some spoken important words.
It really is quite remarkable how splendid one can look, even in the desert. This turban, truly a masterpiece.
But the most important member of Balaam's household wasn't Balaam at all. It was his donkey. And this wasn't just any donkey. It was Cornelia. Yes, she had given herself that name, though Balaam just called her donkey. Cornelia had soft gray fur, kind brown eyes, and ears that could hear a butterfly sneeze 3 fields away. She was also incredibly smart, though Balaam had never bothered to notice. One morning, a messenger arrived with gold coins jingling in his pouch. The king wants you, Balaam, to come. Curse God's people, he announced importantly.
I bring a message from the king. For me? Ooh, for me? Oh, he looks like he could use a little help.
Balaam's eyes lit up like candles. Curse God's people? Well, I suppose if the king insists. He rubbed the gold coins between his fingers. Donkey, we are going on an adventure. Get ready with excitement. Cornelia flicked her ears. Something about this felt wrong. So wrong. But Balaam was already bustling about, packing his bags and humming a little tune. As they set out on the dusty road, Balaam chatted away.
Oh, this is going to be magnificent. They will see how truly important I am. Oh, they'll see. They'll all see how important I am. This journey will prove it.
Cornelia sighed. Humans can be so silly sometimes. They had been walking for about 1 hour when Cornelia suddenly stopped dead in her tracks. There stood right in the middle of the road the most magnificent angel she had ever seen. He was as tall as a tree, with wings that sparkled like starlight, and in his hand was a sword that blazed with holy fire. The angel's voice rumbled like thunder.
You saw no path.
Cornelia's eyes grew wide as dinner plates. Oh my, she whispered to herself. That's definitely an angel, and he looks upset. But Balaam, who was busy adjusting his turban and practicing important sounding speeches, saw nothing at all. What are you doing, donkey? Balaam called as Cornelia carefully stepped sideways into a nearby field, trying to walk around the angel. The road is perfectly fine. Now get back on that path, donkey. Cornelia tried to explain with little donkey sounds. Hee-haw, there's an angel. Hee-haw, and he has a big sword. But all Balaam was hearing was brain. He smacked her with his walking stick. Don't be ridiculous, donkey. Get back on the road this instant. instant. Cornelia's feelings were hurt, but she knew she had to protect her master. So back to the road they went, though she kept one nervous eye on the angel, who had now moved ahead of them. They walked further until they came to a narrow path between two vineyard walls. The grape hung heavy and sweet, and normally Cornelia would have been tempted to sneak and nibble. But there was the angel again, standing right in the middle of the path, his sword gleaming even brighter than before. "Oh dear," Cornelia muttered. "He is still following us, and he still doesn't look happy." This time, she pressed herself as close to the vineyard wall as possible, trying to squeeze past the angel. But the path was narrow and scrape. Balaam's foot dragged against the stone wall. "Ouch!" Balaam yapped, hopping on one foot. "What's wrong with you today? Are you trying to break my toe, donkey?" He whacked her again, harder this time. Tears pricked Cornelia's gentle eyes. She was only trying to save his life, but he kept hitting her. But she pressed on because this is what loyal donkeys do. The third time was the worst of all. They came to a place where the road was so narrow between two walls that there was barely room for a donkey and a rider to pass. And there stood the angel, magnificent and terrible, blocking the entire path with his blazing sword raised high. "This is your final warning," the angel's voice boomed. Cornelia looked left, solid wall. She looked right, solid wall. She looked up, too high to jump. There was only one thing left to do. She sat down, right there in the middle of the road, with Balaam still on her back. "That's it," Balaam shouted, sliding off her back and raising his stick. "I have had enough of your nonsense today. You are making me look foolish, and if I had a sword, I would... And that's when something absolutely, completely, totally amazing happened. Cornelia opened her mouth and spoke in a voice as clear as a silver bell.
"Balaam, what have I done to make you beat me 3 times today?"
Balaam's mouth fell open so wide that a fly could have flown in and built a house. His eyes bulged, his turban slipped sideways. He looked around to see if anyone else had heard a donkey talking. Then back to Cornelia. Did you just talk?" Cornelia nodded sadly. "I have been trying to save your life all morning, and all you have done is hit me."
Have I ever acted like this before?
No, you haven't.
Balaam blinked several times. His donkey was right. Cornelia had been always good, and he sees her as the best donkey in the world. She's patient and loyal, never causing trouble. "No," he whispered, "you have never done this before." And at that moment, God opened Balaam's eyes. There, standing before them like a warrior of heaven, was an angel so bright and beautiful and terrifying that Balaam immediately fell flat on his face in the dust. "Don't hurt me," Balaam cried. The angel's voice was like rolling thunder, but there was kindness in it too.
Your donkey had saved your life 3 times today, Balaam. Each time I stood in your path, she saw me and turned away. If she had not protected you, if you had continued straight toward me in your stubbornness, I would have had to stop you myself, but I spared you because of her faithful heart.
Balaam peeked up from the dust. I didn't know I couldn't see you.
That's why God gave you this donkey, the angel said gently. Sometimes the smallest among us sees the greatest truth. Your donkey has eyes to see what you couldn't, and wisdom to protect what you lost.
Balaam crawled over to Cornelia and threw his arms around her neck. I'm so sorry, he whispered.
I'm so sorry.
You were trying to save my life, and I was too proud and blind to understand. Cornelia nuzzled his cheeks with her soft nose. That's what friends do, she said simply. The angel smiled.
Yes, angels can smile too.
And his sword no longer blazed with warning but glowed with warm light. And as the angel's blazing light softened, Balaam saw something that made his heart skip with wonder. Familiar, warm brown eyes, shoulder-length dark hair, and the gentle, loving face of the king of the castle of light himself, who had come to protect his people. You may continue your journey, Balaam, the king said, his voice now tender with love. But remember this.
Speak only the words I give you to speak.
And always listen to those who love you enough to protect you, even when you don't understand. As the king disappeared in a shower of sparkled light, Balaam looked at Cornelia with complete new eyes. Did you see that? He whispered in awe. That was the king of the castle of light himself. Cornelia nodded wisely. I told you he shows us his love in many ways, sometimes as a mighty warring angel, and sometimes through friends who refuse to let us walk into danger. That night, as they camped under a blanket of stars, Balaam gently brushed Cornelia's fur and shared his dinner with her. Thank you, he said quietly, for seeing what I could not see. Thank you for protecting me even when I didn't deserve it. Cornelia smiled her wise donkey smile. From that day forward, Balaam never forgot the lesson. God's love goes before us to protect us. And
God's
God
love
can
is
use even
everywhere,
the
Balaam.
smallest thing
Just look
to
at the
talk to
stars.
us all. And now, shall we take our bedtime prayer? Dear Jesus, thank you for showing me your love through people who love me. Help me to listen and obey your words. Thank you for going before me to keep me safe. I am chosen. I am loved, and I am your world changer. Amen.